What's up? It's me. Good morning. Uh, I'm on my way to work. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning here in Maryland, heading to Delaware. Gonna do a little bit of counseling. And I was just, I just got done working out this morning and I was just thinking about a topic. And you guys know I listen to my motivational speakers and everything. And, they always talk about dealing with failure. And I talk about that too. But what occurred to me was when you feel like you're in a state of failure and that's not what the situation actually is. And I was thinking about when I was young. I loved reading comic books. I loved reading comic books. I probably still would read comic books now, but they're too expensive. But my favorite comic book was, and I know probably Lavelle and Jeanette probably know, was the X-Men. I just loved the X-Men dealing with all their powers and how the world didn't like them because they were different. It really kind of resonated to a nerdy fat black kid. So in the comic book, their most dangerous enemy were these robots called the Sentinels. And so the thing that made the Sentinels so deadly was that if you didn't utterly destroy them, they would adapt and get stronger. So like they would adapt to any attack. And if the attack didn't utterly destroy every part of their body, they would come back deadlier than ever. And it was cool. And I love this series. It was a cool story. But I was thinking about it, as I was working out today, that really the Sentinels really reflect the positive human condition of who we are. And I say the positive human condition because if you're fueled with faith, confidence, and courage, you know that every time you fail, every time you get hit, every time you get a heartbreak, every time you get knocked down, get your teeth blown out, it is your opportunity to re strategize, rehabilitate, and come back better than ever. But you have to have that mindset to overcome. I mean, if you look at our bodies, that's how we're designed. When you go to school, you encounter failure because you encounter experiences where you don't know what you're doing. You don't know calculus, you don't know algebra, you don't know proper grammar. And so your body, your brain has to adjust to learning something new after it's encountered the disappointment of understanding what it doesn't know. And it always kind of makes me laugh when I talk to some of young people. I got young clients and they're complaining about school, and I'm like, no, nobody likes school. I mean, no, I shouldn't say that. Some people did like school, but I think the majority didn't like school not because of going to class, but they didn't like having to study and learn things that they don't know because that requires discipline. It requires practice. I mean, especially for me, like when I went back to college, because I was never really a good student, I always knew I had to study and I had to study hard. Excuse me. So when I'd be taking one of my psychology classes, I would have to read the book first, and if I could find the audio version of it, I would read it and listen to it at the same time. Then I would go back through it and highlight the parts that I thought were important, and then I would go back through it again really trying to retain the information. So I had to go over it at least 3 times for my brain to completely assimilate the information and retain it. It's the same thing when I'm working out. When I work out, my body encounters failure. I mean, my muscles are broke down, destroyed to be rebuilt stronger. And that's how you get fit. That's how you get healthy. That's how you get stronger and faster. It's a constant exposure to failure. And so when I think about, because right now I'm in a state of suck. I'm in a state of disappointment, of failure. But what if I'm not in a state of failure? What if this holding pattern that me and my family are in is really a strategy season? What if this time out that I'm in, that you guys are in, because I know some of you guys know what I'm talking about. When you can't get ahead and you're just barely holding on to stay where you are, and it's miserable. What if I turned and flipped that misery around and used this moment to really recalibrate my thought process to inspire myself that once I come out of this thing, I'm going to be devastating. Once I get through this season of sickness, this season of addiction, this season of unemployment, this season of poverty, I'm going to come out a beast. But I've got to utilize that time for more than just wishful thinking. I've actually got to take that time that I'm in to strategize, plan, and implement. So, we've got all our stuff in storage to go into our new house. And we got a Echelon bike, excuse me, which is like the little brother of the Peloton bike. It's like $2,000 cheaper, but it does the same thing. I've got exercise equipment. We've got weights. We've got everything that we tried to collect during the first phase of the corona so we could work out from home. And I was really digging that idea. And we got yoga mats, we got videos, we got everything. So I would have no excuse not to work out. And then we ended up in the apartment, and we're going on like month 2. And in my mind, in my lazy personality, I would tell myself, okay, well, why don't you just wait to work out until you get to your house, and then you can do everything, and it'll all be groovy, and it'll be the perfect environment. It'll be the optimal condition for you to get healthy. So why don't you just wait? But the other part of me said, why don't we use this time to get your body in as good of condition and shape as possible so that when you move into your house and you start riding on that bike, you'll already be in decent shape, and you'll be able to move from decent to exceptional. So I look at the season of being stuck as a time to condition our mind, body, and spirit for the next stage that's coming. You're not going to be stuck forever. I think there was this movie, The Crow. I love that movie. It's an old cult movie, man. But there was a little saying where the hero told this little girl, because it was like a dark, gloomy movie, and he said, it can't rain all the time. And it always just kind of stuck with me that it's not going to be bad all the time. We're not going to be stuck all the time. We're not going to be unemployed all the time. We're not going to be an addict all the time. But in order for that dream to come true, to be realized, I've got to use every moment I have to prepare. And so I guess that's what I'm saying is like right now, you're not stuck. You're not stuck. This is your time to strategize. This is your time to work, to get ready. I feel like we're almost like those people who are working with all these additional stressors, which is tough. It is tough. I get it. I get it. It's hard. It's miserable. It's painful. But if you can maintain and fight with all this extra adversity, just think how phenomenal you'll be when it stops raining and you come out. When you come out the gate, when you come out the house, when you come out the pandemic, when election season's over and the dust has settled, are you going to come out powerful or pitiful? So I guess that's my message for today, guys. Use this time to make yourself great. Okay. So I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.